We are, oh, we're in, we're wiggling, we're diddling. I'm a wiggling and I'm a diddling. Let's have a look, see if that looks about right. That does, to be fair. Ooh, I'm impressed with myself there. Yeah, must admit, I'm happy with that, I think. Right, let me just let's get buttons pressed and see what's happening in the land of everything. Good evening, and good evening. Let's have a look whether I can actually find myself, which normally helps, even if I say so myself. Let's have a look. Oh, diddly doo dah. I bet that's telling me I'm live. Oh dear me. It's that good I can't find myself. Oh dear. It's going to be one of them. I can see it now. Hi Diane, hi Caroline, hi Trudy, hi Jan. Bless your cotton sockses. I'm glad somebody's got their head switched on, because I clearly haven't. I can't even find myself on the tube of views. The U of tubes, the tube of views. Let's try again. Hello, Lisa, are you there? Ta-da! Oh, hello, I'm there. I'm there. Hey, goodness me, you lot. Right, Caroline, Diane, Jan, Tony, hi, Susan, hi, Trudy, hi, Claire, hi, Nettie, hi, Mama, hi. Let me just say hello, beautiful people. Hello. There we go. That's me. You know, I'm live, obviously. Does always help, doesn't it? And hello if you're on Facebook. So, yeah, I think that's all good. There we go. Sorted. Okay, so you can see everything here. So I've got my little booklet. Now, I made this little booklet at the Birmingham workshop. And it was fabulous. So I decided to put this in. Shared the link on the group. Thank you very much, Caroline. Bless your cotton socks. I appreciate that. So that's what I made, front and back. I have actually added some what's it onto this. So I've put some of the crackle paste on with hi Alison, with a brush, and it has given me the most. Look at that, bam! Look at that shine. Hi Lynn, hope you're well. Bless you. This is really cute. I love these journals. Love making them. So I'm going to do a page, and then I thought to myself, well, maybe a page isn't going to be enough for tonight. Oh, I'm just going off on a tangent now. So I'll mix some acrylic in with this stuff, and it does actually crackle and play around and diddly-doo-dah and that. Diddly-doo-dah. So, yeah. So this stuff actually gives the most amazing glaze, as you can clearly see. Love it, love it, love it. And obviously when you put it in and let it do what it actually needs to do, there is a gorgeous crackle in there as well. So I put quite a good layer on. But tonight we are playing with acrylic paint as requested. And I'm probably going to do Monday night live in Tracy Evans' boutique will be acrylics again as well. So yes, there we go. Yes, hi Marie. Hello, hello, hello. Dominique, hi. Hello. I don't think I've missed anyone. Hi Chris. Rach, hello my sweetie. Maxine, hi. Kelly, hi. Alison, hi. And anybody else that's in the ethos, or the little snipers watching from beyond, hello. Give me a thumbs up. If you're watching in the background, give me a thumbs up. Can you subscribe, like, do the normal stuff that allows me to do what I do, basically. The other thing I'm going to say is, obviously I'm not going to mention it all the way through, but I'm going to mention it now, is obviously on the YouTube now we have the monthly tutorials. I'm going to do a really in-depth piece. I don't know what to use stamp-wise, but I'm going to do something really in-depth. Let's just put it like that. So that's going to be a main one, and then I might do some little snippets through the month, just as little tasters, you know, just to keep you all ready and prepared for the big one at the end of the month. When I do post up what you need, so I'll post down all what you need, your paints, all your alternatives and stuff like that, what stamps I'll be using. Hi Steph. Hi Anthony, hi Cheryl. So yeah, and I'll also give the date that this will be going live on your tutorial as well. So there you go. So yeah, give us a thumbs up, people. Don't be shy. So I am actually going to use some of this. So I got this from Tracy Evans' boutique. I think it was $7.99, I think. With her amazingly ultra fast postage. And it was actually free post when I done that, so it was all fabulous. But I love the way that this has actually protected what I've done, and it has given me the most gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous shine. I'm excited too, to be fair, Susan. Oh, bless you. Hi, Michael. Makes me laugh every time I see that. It just tickles me. Just really does. Right then, so the paints I'm going to be using tonight are Dina Wakley Media acrylic paint. So these were available in Tracy Evans' boutique. And off the top of my head, I couldn't tell you how much the paint is, which is really naughty of me. But if you want some, go and pop yourself into Tracy Evans' site. And there's loads of stuff in there. Now, I will be doing a side-by-side. So I'm going to be taking this image over here with the acrylic paint and stamping and doing a bit of freehand as well. And then I've also got, so that was TE15. I've also got TE46. Now, I love these lobelia. Bam, 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 bam. I want to put some of this into this, or actually I might. Now, I made a, see, this was me. I was going off on a tangent, so I've made myself an envelope out of 300 GSM. It's like you could beat somebody with this. It's brilliant. And then I've done a little card and like a little what's it. So I'm thinking I might actually do something on that to put in my envelope, as you do. So I am going to put that there. So that was pre-cut for that. So that's not a specific size. It's not like a A6 or whatever. I'll have to measure it if you really want to. Let's have a look. What is it? It's just over 3. Say 3 3/3 inch by blah 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 5.5 inch. There you go. There you go. Sorted, done, tickety boo. Right, so I'm going to put that over there. Let's start. So let's play. Yes, I did pop up as suggested. Oh, bless you. There you go. Sorted, sorted, sorted. So, on here now, I don't watch the news. So somebody did actually go, oh, it's like the fires. So I'm really sorry if that has caused offence to anybody, but it was not an intention. I don't watch the news. I watch sports and stuff. So I really don't know what's going on in the world, if I'm honest with you. So I know there's a war, and I know Trump's Trump, and you know, I know our prime ministers, you know, we'll leave them there. Anyway, I wasn't aware that there were fires or whatever else is going on. So apologies if this did cause offence. Hi, Sally. Hello. So apologies, you know, if that caused offence for somebody thinking it was fires and stuff like that. So that was not my intention. I can clearly say that to you. So there's no such thing as late here. You're here, you're here. If you ain't, you ain't. There's no worries. You got catch up, we'll play. Simple as that. There's more important things in life. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, if you're not here, you're not here. You're doing something that's more important. That's the way I see it. It's not mandatory that you stay here. No, well, you know, there was a mention, Caroline, so I just wanted to clear that, you know, because I don't like thinking that I've upset somebody. That's not my intentions at all. Okay. So acrylics. So I'm going to run this across, but I'm not going to. I did have this papaya colour, which is a lovely orange. Kim, my friend, hope. Oh, sorry, I'm reading conversations. Do beg your pardon, Steph. There you go. So I'm not going to combine this. Actually, I am going to probably combine maybe a blue or something along those lines. Oh, here we go. So Diane, go on then. Here we go then. Tsunami in Hawaii. Oh wow. In Russia. Oh crikey. Okay then. So I'm not going to do anything that goes along them words then. I'm going to use blue. Oh crikey. Oh dear me. I'll just rewind and start again, shall I? Right, so I'm going to keep the lobelia for this one, I've decided. And I saw the orange. So that's okay, it's no problem. Bless you. You're quite well. Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah, you wouldn't be having private conversations on here, that's for sure. And if you did, you'd be daft. Bless you. So I'm going to take this across as blue. I'm thinking maybe some water then. Should we do water? I love the yes, well, yeah, it could, well, I've done it sort of. My interpretation was sort of sun-esque type sort of thing. But yeah, so we're gonna take it across. I'm gonna use this Legit blue. Love it. And we have got watery, so we've got a light and a dark. Obviously I love my olive, which is mainly on here. There is some brown as well, and yeah, malachite, I think that is malachite. I don't pigging now. I thought it looked very oriental. Yeah, I think, you know, when you start having dangly things, that's where you're oriental. So yeah, maybe we'll take some dangly things across. I don't know. Let's paint anyway. Crumbs. We're chatting nonsense for the sake of it, as you do. my middle name, really, isn't it? Nonsense. So I'm gonna start down with this. Now, what I love about hello, Michael. Ah, dear me. Lisa, avoid the follow. Oh, crikey. Well, if you say that to me, that ain't going to happen, is it? Lisa, avoid the following. I'll end up looking for it and then talking about it. So it's pointless. So I'm glad I'm blinded, if I'm honest with you. And like I say, I don't mean to cause any offence to anybody. That's just not in my nature. Okay, so acrylic down. Now, I have put a little bit of water on my brush. And it's moved around. I like it. So there is no sort of, there's nothing going on with this realistically. Oh, crumbs, apart from me dropping it, of course. Why ever not? So I'm just going to put a little bit of water on that. So for me, this really isn't dark enough, if I'm honest with you. So I am just going to have a look at this one. Sapphire, very nice. Let's have a look what that one's going to do for me. Oh, squidgy doo dark. There we go. Oh, that's very thick. So no, this is super smooth. Pink Frog 300 GSM. Oh dear, I would have told you, don't panic. So I'm just going to put a bit of that dark at the top here, mix it in, bring it down. Yeah, so I always use, unless I'm going to tell you different, Pink Frog 300 GSM, whether it be super smooth or watercolour. Now on this particular occasion, this is just your bog standard 300 GSM. So I'm just, you can see there's a bit of dark in there, there's a bit of this in there. I am going to end up with a bit of bleed proof in it as well. Why not? And let me just see, can any of this wriggle out? No. Okay, I might just end up, let me get another brush. Let me just put a blob in here, just in case I contaminate anything. There we go, sorted. Because I just want to sort of just put a little bit of a, because I don't even know what I am doing yet with this. I've no idea, because I'm just got to put me a little bit of, I'm just going to do sort of a bit of a movement. So that looks quite seafied now. I don't know what that is. What's that? Ugh, there we go. My new bottle of brief. Oh, Diane. New bottle of bleed proof. Oh, it's lethal. I just love the stuff I do. Absolutely love it. Right, I'm going to clean my brush. So this is my first bottle and looks like water. That's the main thing. I'm literally down to about there. So they last really well because I use it with everything. And this, have you made your album? Yes, I've made my album myself, yes. It is one of my own little makes. One of my little makes. So, let me just wash my brush off. So yeah, that does look sort of watery. I quite like the bit of movement on that. So, I'm probably going to end up turning it into something totally different, but it's okay. I don't mind that either. So I am just going to be mindful of the fact that I'm using acrylic. So I'm not going to leave things to set hard and then scrape it off, etc, etc. It is a glass work surface over here, which I can use a blade to get it off if I need to, but why give yourself hard work when you don't need to? Right, so I want to put like a skyline in now. So I am going to use this, the watery colour, which is as much use as chocolate teapot, but I'm going to use it for my background, which is going to be nice to do. So I'm actually going to use this brush, and all I'm going to do is just lightly here and there sort of thing, realistically. There we go. Okay. There we are, over. There, fabulous. And then if I wanted to add anything else in, I can do that as I go along. So basically we've just got a top and a bottom on here. The bottom looks like water, which is brilliant. So that's half the battle. And then the top has got that blue. So on this, obviously I had the orange effect at the bottom, all the way down. And then I layered. So acrylic paint is all about layering, which I love doing. So for me, this is sort of a win-win situation. Now you can see this is drying, and as it's drying, it's got the most beautiful feel. I mean, I've obviously put a product over this. It's all right, don't worry, Marie. You're here. When she says you've not, oh, bless. It's one of them, isn't it? Seriously, I love it. They always need to know just the most strangest stuff, don't they? Bless them. And I'm just going to give a little bit of a blend over there, just so I've not got such a harsh line between the two. So let me just rinse my brush off. There we go. And again, I'm just going to move that off as you do. Okay, so let me move these colours over here because I'm just getting myself all confused. Pretty colours. Right, okay, so what am I going to do now? Well, I'm going to put some greenery down. Now, I'm going to keep that as water. I'm going to put something and I'm going to put a reflection on it. So, oh, bless. Sorry, I've missed half a conversation. I'm concentrating on doing something. But I'm sure I'll catch up with the comments later. So I'll send love and hugs now if anybody's got problems and what have you. Right, so I'm going to put some olive down and I'm also going to put some cocoa down, which is brown. Oh, that was a good plot. And I'm just going to go over yonder in my corner and I am going to grab some black. Now, the black acrylic I've got, it's only cheap acrylic. It's Crawford and Black, large pot. It doesn't say, whatever. 500ml. I think this was something out of like Hobbycraft or something like that. And all I'm going to do here is just work out the lid if I need to. And that's just in case I want a darker colour down anywhere. So I am just going to put a little smidgen down over here because I know when I'm mixing, I'm just going to want that little bit of depth in places. So let me just put that over there out the way. Right then, so just how to make... Sorry, how to ask this now, but you somehow... Yeah, of course, I'll show you how to make the little booklet. That's no problem at all. What I'll do is, Anne-Marie, I will put a quick make into the memberships on the channel, and that will give you how to make it then, my sweet. Okay, so that's a little bit of something for you. There we go. Yeah, you carry on, Alison. Go and grab a drink. Right then, so what I'm going to do here is I am just dotting and I've just put a bit of the olive green into the black, and I'm not too worried. I just want to sort of have a bit of an area here. And what I love about acrylic paint is you can really just layer up and play around as much as you like, and you will actually lose the lines of different areas and stuff like that. And before you know it, you'll have like a little mountain area, and you know, you can really just go with so many different depths going along here. So what I want to do is I'm going to keep that as some water, and I'm just going to put some brown into this. So I'm going to turn this on its side a little bit now, and I don't mind white space. I'm not fussy about it looking perfect or it's got to look a certain way or anything like that. If I'm doing something in more detail, then yes, obviously, but we're just having a little play around tonight. So I'm just showing you what you can do with your acrylic paints, basically. So we've got a bit of land over there. Land ahoy, as the saying goes. So there we are, a bit of land. Right, okay, so I'm just going to go with a bit of black work here. And all I'm going to do now is I'm just going to put a little bit of water on my brush onto that black, and I'm just going to just have a little bit of a shadow going on here, just so it looks like we've got a bit of a reflection coming down. And bear in mind, these are acrylic paints, so I can add colour over this, and I will add a white just to show you what white I'll use. If I'm not using my bleed proof white, I use Daler Rowney titanium white, and it's a graduate. So if I put that over here and give that splodge, there we go. I only need a smidgen. Don't need nothing too heavy. Bless you. Honestly, Claire, there's loads and loads and loads and loads and loads of uses for all sorts of stuff. Now, I'm just going to put a bit of the titanium white on my brush. Nothing too sort of, you know, like, oh, wow, what's going on here sort of thing. And all I'm doing is I'm just touching it over just to add those little areas. Now, if you're not comfortable doing this, you can quite easily get yourself a white gel pen or whatever and just glide over if you wanted to. But for me, just having those lumps and bumps of paint and that texture actually gives you that water movement. And what I will be showing you in the memberships, the tutorial, the workshop memberships, which are going to be every month, they're going to be in depth, and they're going to be A4 or A5 pieces, and you're going to be able to follow along step by step by step, and you will be creating some really nice pieces. magical fairies, animals, all sorts. And we'll also be doing some drawing, some painting, oxides, the whole lot. So there you go. So up here now, obviously we've got a different array and done a different selection of stuff going on here. So it's whether or not what you want up here, sort of thing. Now, I can put in a bit of clouding up here, so I can actually go back to this sapphire colour and mix it in with a different blue. So I'm just going to put a smidgen, and I mean a smidgen, like a blob. This goes a long, long way. You have high hope. I have honestly high hopes for all of you, because I know you're all capable of it. Totally capable of it, you know. So, and I think for what I've seen you guys putting out there, easy peasy sneezy and all that. Just anybody having issues with, oh yes, Marie, I forgot about that. Yeah, if you can read what Marie's just put on, if you're on the iPhone, you have to log into like a laptop or a device, and then go into your YouTube, and then you can actually join that way, because I believe that going through your iPhone was, people will find it difficult to join. But yeah, there you go. So there's a few of you on there, so we've still got plenty of time for you guys to join in with the fun. I'm just going to pick a blob of this white up and put it down here. So this means now that I'm going to have some lovely sort of cloudy, whitey fluffiness going on. Now, if you're unsure how to sort of put down, add a little bit of water and just do your little wiggly bits, yeah? Now, if you think that you've got too much on there, get some of your white and put it on and mix it. Makes fabulous cloud. And again, if you don't like it, put some more on. And until you're looking at it and thinking, oh God, there's a cloud there. Yeah, and that's all it is. That's all I do. And then all you're going to do then is just drag it out, bring it down into the rest of it. And away you go. Now, if you don't like that transition there, you can bring it up, bring it over. And just remember, it's not like your oxides, you know, once it's dry, it's on, done and dusted. So just remember that when you're playing around. So let me just bring this over here, just to show you guys just what I mean. Because you know me, I'll just go with the flow. So, it, you know, it's one of them. But I'm going to put some white acrylic on now, yeah. And you can go as umphy as you like, because you're going to just add layers. Add your layers, that's all you're doing. And we'll add a bit of blue into this as well. See, look at that now, we've got a little bit of blue. And if you want to put grey in, put your grey in, yeah. Because at the end of the day, you've now got yourself a base now. I mean, if you let this dry, you can stick a fairy on there if you want. You can stick a butterfly on it. It's your choice. And if you wanted to, like, take it into a sunset, sunrise, let me just show you how you can do that. And it's just a little bit of yellow. And we're using the lemon now. So this is all the Dina Wakley acrylics that we're using. So let me just put a blob there, because I know I'm going to be using a blob more of this. Needs a midget. Does, you know, honestly, you're thinking the same way along with me. So let's put this into a sun. Now, bear in mind, when that's dry, we can paint over it. Okay? This really easy stuff, this. So a bit on, only a bit. Now, I've put a great big blob there, but I'm going to use that in the next one, because I've got an idea. I'll show you my idea. I've scribbled it down. This is Umphy and Art. Umphy is fabulous. Umphy is whatever you want it to be. Trust me. Umphy's like, I don't know. You can, yeah. We'll just call it a technical term for something. I don't know what yet, but we'll find some use for it. So before that dries, I'm going to get the white. Yep. And then I'm going to blend it in. And don't worry, I mean, don't worry if you do that, okay? Because we can go over it, okay? So don't think, oh, I've ruined it. I've gone over this bit and oh, crumbs, what we done here? Just add that bit of white on, add that bit of depth with that sort of cloud here and there. And if you want to do a little bit of a wiggle, do a bit of a wiggle. The yellow will add so much depth to a piece. Yellow, red, orange, ripe persimmon. As our Sissy Poos always says, ripe persimmon is a sunset, full stop, end of story. You ain't got to do much if you've got ripe persimmon. Now I'm going to go back in with a bit of brown because I've gone over. Yeah, don't worry about it. There we go. So I've gone over this area here, and what I want to do is I want to do this into a tree line now. So as we're looking at that now, we've got the sea, we've got movement, we've got a nice little something. Now, if you want to whack a fairy on there, you go ahead. If you want to whack a tree, you want to whack a butterfly, do whatever, you know. This is your creation. I'm just giving you the sort of the basics, yeah. So I'm going to put a little bit of green on. Now, all I'm going to do along here is I'm going to get the olive, which is that sort of, I love olive. And all I'm going to do is just dab, just in places. And I'm just taking it to the top end. So if that was a top tree line, obviously the top end will catch any sun rays and it'll be lighter. So I'm going to bring it down, and then I'm going to go back into my brown. And I'm just going to just do a little bit of a mix and match now. So I'm just playing around with the colours while they're still wet. Okay. Now, if you want to add a bit of yellow into that, you feel free. But you will get your sort of different colours and different... I've got lime. Let's see what that looks like. You know me, in for a penny, in for a pound and all that. Why not? Don't be shy to use your colours. Don't be shy to sort of play around and think to yourself, oh, what am I going to get here if I add this? Acrylics are a great medium to play around with and experiment with, because if you don't like it when it's dry, you can paint over it. And that's why a lot of people will use acrylics. Or they're scared to, because they don't know how to layer. Which is a shame, really, because they are absolute fabulous medium to play around with. So it'd be good if you guys were doing a little bit more playing and sort of maybe inventing, I don't know. Play around, have a go. Lime explosion. Hell yeah. Right then, so I'm just going to mix that up. Take it around. Play around with it a little bit. Why not? And I'm just going to bring it down a little bit. Now I'm just going to put my little bit of there we go, sorted. Now if I wanted to really pop the edge of that, I'd put black into it. So let me just show you very quickly. Get the lid. These brushes are doing my head in. Let me put them over there. So I'm gonna dry my brush off on me. I need another bottle. Mine emptied. Oh, crumbs. So I might make it look easy, but I have had a lot of years practice. But all I'm doing is just, I am literally playing around. And bless you for saying I'll make it look easy. That, you know, that's, oh, bless you. I just wish I could sort of, if you were here with me now, you'd see it really is a lot easier than what you guys are thinking. So I'm just going to bring a little bit of depth up in there. And that would sort of give me that sort of shoreline, if that's what I'm looking for. But that was a mess. Yeah, bet. Right, so I'm going to let that dry. Let me just clean my brush out. Now, if you want to blast it over, let me get the heat machine. Let me just grab that. Yeah, that's going to... Let me just untangle it. It's all wiggly woo-wah. That's another technical term for tangled up. So, just gonna give it a little blast. Nothing major. Because it more or less is dry, to be fair. There we go. So that, to me, that's done, dusted, tickety boo. So let's put some stamps on it now. So let me just put the lid on that. Let me close up, because we don't want mess. I am going to leave them there because I'm going to use them. Right, so I'm gonna use similar to this over here, so it sort of marries up. So I'm going to use the tree. So again, it's all about layering. So the tree I used was the small one, so I'm going to grab the little tree out. And let me get a stamping block, because I'm good like that. Okay. So I'm now going to mirror it up, and I can put down over this, and then a wiggly woo, honestly. I'll need to do my own dictionary. I might put it in the stamp sheet. I might do a range of words. That'd be so fun, wouldn't it? Lisa's wiggly woo words. Right, so I am just going to do the tops of this basically. So nothing too sort of drastic, I suppose, realistically. Something. So I'm just going to do a first and second generation. And the thing, yeah, something like that. Oh dear. So the thing with this now, what I can do is, I tell you what, let me just bring that about there. And honestly, I really don't mind on smudging and stuff like that. So what you can do now with your brush is, because it's on acrylic, it's not dry. So you can play around with this as much as you like. So this is what I love about sort of playing around with your acrylic. So I can actually paint into this now and actually put this into my little forest, I suppose. Is that what it is? Maybe, I don't know. So I can just see those tree tops just popping over the top, because I've got a little bit of paint here still. So I'm just going to take that like so. So this is what I'm on about with layering. So please give it a go, because look at that now. So we've got trees now upon a tree. So that's like something you could put on your wall, you know, painting-esque. I mean, it's very basic, but it just gives you the idea of how we've stamped, and now we've now put an acrylic layer over. Okay, now let me just put that there. Let me open this back out, because now if you're unhappy about doing that, this is what I love about these. They just pull out. Perfecto. I'll put that over there out the way. So I can put this down now, and if I wanted to sort of build up a scene here, I can do that. So as in true Lisa style, let me take that there, and let me just put my lovely little I love these. Let me just, I'm only going to use the top half of this, because I'm just going to tinge around here a little bit. I might actually, yeah, I'm just going to do that bit, I think. So again, I'm just going to do it over here, and all I'm going to do is just give it, so you're giving that sort of look that we're looking through, I don't know, we're looking through something. We've just got a little bit of something going on there, yeah. So that's that done and dusted. And then I've got to have something up, because I've got like an area. Oh, I've got a finger. I forgot a finger. Now let me just say. So I'm gonna do what Granny does and just lick. Yep, it'll come off. So there you go. So if you get on it quick enough, your Granny lick with that means spit on a tissue, rub, works on acrylic, and sorry, I just had to try it. You know me. In for a penny, in for a pound. I'm sure that's why you lot just come and harass me. I'm sure of it. Do all my craziness in one place. Oh dear me. It's all good fun, isn't it? Okay, so you can see that's still wet, and what I do like is the fact that I can now just dab. For some reason I thought you were on at 7. Oh, don't worry, you haven't missed loads. I'm going to do another one in a minute, and plus there'll be catch up anyway, so don't worry. Honestly, don't worry. It's a good old technique. Spit and elbow grease. Honestly, it's the best thing since sliced bread in my head anyway. It works wonders on everything. So there we go. We have got ourselves. Let's put that in the little booklet then now. Yes, so much movement to the picture. And it's just all, you know, if you didn't like it, you just cut another piece out and put it in, basically. You know? So there we go. So we've got the in the forest, and then we're looking to go into the forest. So we've got two sort of chalk and cheese, but it's just acrylics, and we've still used stamps. Granny lick. Oh yes, honestly, come here, come to Granny. I remember it well. I just want to put some little birds in the distance. So let me just grab. So I'm just going to grab my Pigmamicron archival, and it's a 02. Let me see if it. Yeah, it's going to work. Perfect. So I'm just going to do my little McDonald's M's in the skyline. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3 is always the magic number, and on that one I'm just going to give it a bit of a body. Okay, so that gives you an idea to build up a little bit of, I don't know, you could be out looking a cove, you could be out looking a seashore, you could be out looking a lake. I'm mortified I've missed it. You haven't missed it, don't worry, you got cash up. Chill your beans, you're going to like the next one. There's my sketch. So I've done a sketch. So basically I'm going to do a tree with a lantern with a background in acrylics, and I'm going to do it on this. So this is going to be fun. So I'm going to put that there because you're mortified you missed it. Daft devil. Spit and polish. That's the one. Spit and polish. Call it what you like. And if you want to really go to town on this, like I've done on here, you could add some little micro sort of little bits in the distance, you know, sort of little bits of shoreline, bit of tree stump, or bits of umphy diddly doodahs and stuff. I mean, my technical terms can go on, you know, they're getting quite well known now. You could also put some Posca, some little dots of yellow on there, or if you're really feeling brave, I've got yellow here. Let me just get a brush. Let's do what we're supposed to be doing. Let me get my angled one. Let's have a look at that one. Okay, so that was in my gob. I've got my point, as you can clearly see. Let me just move that over there. Let me move that there. So if you want to put on your little dots, I've got a big blob of acrylic there, so you can quite easily just put on some smidgens, just as like little highlights. I mean, if you really wanted to go to town, you could turn these into flowers. And I have done that, and they are absolutely fabulous for flowers. Normally I use white, but I've already got white in the background, so I don't want to use white again. So my next alternative for a highlight is yellow, and yellow is a very, very underrated colour that you can do so much with if you just have a little bit of confidence and go, oh, let's have a go, you know. And worst case scenario, if it doesn't look any good, smudge it out, re-stamp over it, you've got a bit of a background, yeah. So you ain't really going to do much damage if you don't like what you're doing. And especially with it being an acrylic undercoat as such that you've got. Because if you don't like any of this, you can just paint over it all with white and start again. Or just take the page out and just turn it into a tag, like I'd probably do. But actually I like this, to be fair, so it'll stay. So there we go. Let me just do a couple of little wiggly bits here and there. There we go. Sorty. Dot dot dot, dash. So Saturday I'm at Crafty Corner, and we've got some interesting stuff to do there. I'm quite looking forward to that. And then I've obviously put up all the dates where me and Sissy Poos are out and about. We're all over the place, to be fair. So, you know, if you are looking to do anything, see if there's anything close by to you and come and join us for a workshop. We are very limited on places, I might add. So if you are looking, you can reserve a place. But there you go. And again, you can dat it, dosh it, diddly doodah, do whatever. Let me just see if I can just sort of show you if you don't like it sort of a moment. There you go. So you can have it not as harsh and have it just sort of blend out if you want it, which I think looks quite cool as well. So there you go, 2 easy backgrounds. Now I am going to put some of that over. I'm going to let that dry first. It won't take long for that to dry. And I'm going to start again here. So let me just get my tissue and start. Look at this, I'm being ever so good here, because I know I'm going to end up putting my arm in it, and I know I've wasted a bit of paint there, but it's okay. But it's all right. That's all right. I'm still here though. I ain't done yet. We've still got time. Don't panic. Okay, so next one is I am going to, they're totally different looks as well. So you can take any of these. I mean, that was just the orange down, the yellow down first, then it went into the orange. I blended it together, and then I just blobbed green in, and then I just put the mushrooms and the trees in. Similar to what I've done here, but there was just a little bit more carnage with that one, really. There's always more carnage because when I do a live, I rush things. When I sit at home and I'm doing things ready for the demos, I take more time, so I can actually get a lot more into it. Anyway, let's crack on with this. So brown. Now this is going to be an interesting one because this is going to be totally sort of, I've seen a picture today, so I've done a little sketch and I thought, oh, that looks really nice, that does. Shall I? So I thought, oh, go on, let's have a go. So I'm going to have a look at this green. So I've got this tubular green, but I want to put a bit of brown in it. So I want to bring it down a bit. I'm glad you like them. Thank you very much. And I am going to sort of maybe put a bit of a yellow to that as well. There we go. Right, so I'm just going to get the background in first. So I sort of want some hills in the background, but I don't want the hills to be too dark. So I'm mixing these three colours together to give me something like, I don't know what it's going to end up looking like. So acrylic paints are really sort of interesting to play around with, I'll say the least. So I'm just going to do sort of a bit of a hill-esque. Let me just put a bit of water on this. Hello, Sylvia. Hopefully you're well, my sweetie. Hopefully you're healing and you're getting yourself back to where you need to be to, which will be good. So all I'm going to do on here now is I have just moved this around with the water. As you can see, when you put a little bit of water to acrylic, they will move a little bit. They're not like your watercolour paints or your oxides, you know, and then once it's dry, it is dry. So just be mindful on that. So all I'm going to do is just do a couple of little layers here. And I'm not worried about that bottom area because I think it looks quite nice when you sort of leave it sort of white space, because I can just build it up with green and stuff like that if I need to. I am going to start building up though. I'm just going to get my fave, which is this olive. I love this olive. I can do so much with this olive colour. Love it. So my first layer, I'm just going to put some olive down, and all I'm going to do here is give me the interpretation of a bit of greenery around here and a little bit around here, and I will actually build that up. But all I'm doing at the minute is just putting that there so I know roughly that I'm going to build something up around here, and it's going to be something with possibly a bit of colouring yet. I'm not too sure, because it depends on how the other bits look like, to whether I go, oh god, that looks rubbish, and then I end up doing something totally different with it, and then it's like, oh crumbs, what am I doing? I do have them moments quite often as well. I can now officially blame ADHD for that, but it's okay. I'll embrace it. I'll own it. It is officially a superpower that I am getting to grips with, slowly but surely. So that bit there, there's your background. So if I wanted that as a bit of a background, sort of think of it as a mountain top sort of thing, I could put that down as a little bit of summit here, little bit of summit here, because mountains sort of don't have oh, thumbs up, there you go, you're on it, bless you. So I'm just going to do that there, put that bit of depth here. So all you're really doing is just moving around colour and sort of playing around with shapes. And if you can keep that in your head when you're painting or you're creating, you ain't going to go far wrong with what you're going to put down. So, you know, just go along those sort of roads, and then you ain't going to go far wrong with, you know, creating a little bit of something that you go, God, I've done that, you know, because that's what it's all about, really. Oh, that's a funky colour. Well, I'll have a bit of that there. Right, I'm just going to tap that in. There we go. So I have got sort of a hill and then something going on here, and I'm not too worried about this bit because I can either put pencil work in or stamp, which I'm probably going to end up stamping. My main thing is going across here. Now I am going to get a pencil, which what's that? That's an 8B. I don't want an 8B. Like, what we got here? Let's have a look. Hello, sir. No worries at all. Right, thanks for popping by, sweetie. Nice to see you here. Big hugs, beautiful. Message me if you need me. You know what I mean. Right, so I am going to go across here like so, and I'm going to bring it down, and I'm going to have something coming up like that, and I'm probably going to go like so, like that. Bring it up. Bless you. Bring it up. There we go. I mean, you can bring something down here if you want, but yeah, I'm thinking that might be about sort of it. So here we go. Oh, I can't keep putting blooming paint everywhere. That's the thing when I put paint down. I'll see you later, sweetheart. Bonjour. Go ho. I like it. Bit of bonjour. Love it. So all I'm going to do now is just, I've done a pencil marking, which was too low. So I'm just going to bring that pencil marking. I'm going to bring it up Now, don't worry if you don't like what you've done. Like I say, the best thing with acrylic paint is you can actually go over this, move it around, add depth into it, add a bit of darkness if you want to. You'll have some black, and if you haven't got black, you can make black up. So let me just put that here, and we're going to take that down there. There we go. I'll take that there. And it hasn't got to be perfect, so don't think, oh crikey, that don't look much like a tree. It will do when we finished it, but at the minute all I want is that rough indication of a branch. That's all I need at the moment. Now already you can see if I add another layer, it gets darker and darker and darker, and sometimes you don't even need black to get your sort of creaks and creases on a tree, but it's nice for you to have that little bit of detail if you need it. So for me that'll do. That's a tree branch as such going across, and I will add more detail in a minute. So the next thing I want to do is get a thinner brush. Now what thin brush do I grab? Let's have a look. Let me see. What have I got out? That's too thick, that's too thick. Oh, decision. I'm going to use this pexy little thing. Right, so I'm using a Zero Splash 3, and it is a teeny weeny itsy bitsy bikini thing. Yeah, pencil. Let me just grab that a second. Right, so off the drawing I saw, basically we had something that came down like so, and then so this is just, this is off the top of my head, so apologies if it don't look bang on perfect or anything like that. I'm just having a play. Okay, so let me just bring that round like so. Do one here, one here, one here, one here, and then I'll do something down like this maybe, and then maybe something like that. There we go. Okay, so yeah, there we go. Right, so I'm going to do like a little lamp thing. I don't know, it's something, and I'm going to do it in some black acrylic. So this is where, if you do something sketchy, right, don't ever be shy if it don't look like whatever it is that you're trying to do, right? A sketch is a sketch, right? I mean, when you start painting it on, different kettle of fish. But if you're doing it with acrylics, if you don't like it, you can paint over it. Yeah, so bear with me on this one, because this might be one of those moments where I paint over something. So as I say, I've not done this before, but let me just do a little rough bit of something. Let's just see if I get what I'm sort of going for. Could have been bigger, but again, don't forget to move things around, you know, use the paper. Don't get the paper to use you, so to speak. Okay, so I really could have done with a thinner brush, but to be fair, for what I'm doing with this, it'll do. So I'm going to take that up here, take that up there, take that down here. I'm going to take that in. I'm going to taper that in quite a bit, actually. Do that there. Right, so let me just... So anything down like this, you can actually paint over. You can give it more depth. You can put your layers on. You can put different colours on. So again, don't be shy to sort of add more depth, add more colours, etc, etc. Okay, so all I'm doing at the minute is I'm just gonna just do a bit of a shade on these. Let me just have a little bit of water off that. Yep, that'll do. Perfecto. And the best thing with mixed media is you can use whatever mediums you want. So if you're starting off with acrylics and you want to change. Nobody says you've got to stick with one medium. So I'm just going to put a bit of a ball sort of shape thing to that. Have something coming down off it. You ain't going to see most of this either. And this is what I like when you're sort of doing your paintings. You can have a base like this, and then you're going to have a couple of things, and then suddenly it's going to change very quickly. So I know this is going to change in a minute very quickly, and I shall show you why in a sec. Let me just take that off there, and let me just put a little bit of, maybe a bit of brown on that. So adding different colours, different movement, different brushes will give you different sort of texture, different strokes. So don't be shy to play around with stuff, because if you don't like it, like I've said to you, you can easily paint over it. Right, so now I want me yellow. Yeah, that will do. And let me just add a little bit of colour to that, a bit of water to that. Now then. Now bear in mind there is no backing or anything onto this yet. So if you wanted to really go to town on this, you could put black. Bless you. You could put like blacks onto this. You can put any colour that you want, but the main thing that you want to do is just have an area around here. So, and again, don't worry about going over, because you can go over this with acrylic. And this is what I love, when you start messing around with different sort of bits, and you have little bits here and there. I cheat, I just call them a-holes. Oh, fair enough then. Right, so the backing we could do with an oxide, which I can do. In fact, I'll do it now while that's drying, because I want to put something else over that in a minute. So I'm going to get, let's have a look. Oh, shall we get chipped sapphire? I'm going to get chipped sapphire and just put that down. And let's have a look. Let me get one of my brushes. My cat nags every time I go to the... Oh, wow, bless. Right, so I'm going to get my blue. And it is one of the new Distress ones. So I'm just going to wiggle it along, see how it goes. And first things first. Oh, that's all right, actually. Now, it's going to be interesting to see how this goes over on here. Now, it's getting used to these sharp bristles on here. Now, there's loads of different techniques that you can do on this. You could have brush on here. You could have your soft brushes. You could have what other brushes that you want to use, etc, etc. But I've just got to get my head around how harsh these can be. But saying that, I've got the coverage I need, and that's the main thing at the end of the day. I'm going to leave that there a second. I'm going to put that, I do like, yeah, the smoothies are nice to be fair. And let me just say, where's blah, blah, blah. No, that's not Tracy's. Somewhere in my mum's pile. See, mum's robbed all my Tracy ones. I have got those lovely brushes, those lovely blending brushes. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to get some water on, and you know me, water and oxides. Let's move it around. Yeah. Or you can flicker it on if you wanted to. Again, do what you want to do. Yeah. So you can add clouds to this. You can add little bits coming around. You can add what you like, realistically. Tracy's brushes are very, very soft. They're gorgeous. My mum's robbed all mine, so bless her. So yeah, she's got all those lovely soft brushes. I'm gonna have to rub them back, but it's okay. So there we go. So basically, you're bringing together that area. Now around here, you could have loads of little twinkly lights, little midges and all the rest of it. First things first, though, I want to sort this area out here. Excuse me. And I need a smaller brush. Why have I not got all my brushes sorted out for this? I don't know what planet I was on. I'm sure. It clearly isn't the planet I should be on. Let's put it like that. Let me try that one. Right, let me just have a little play here a minute. So in hindsight, I probably should have maybe done this in pencil, but we're here now. Let's play the game as you do. And I'm really being very sort of bam, bam, bam. So apologies. But when it's all painted in, you're not really going to see this. So that's why I'm not really being ultra, careful with it, and being like really sort of, oh, I need to be extra OTT with it or anything like that, because that's just me, I'm afraid to say. So let me just take that off there. There we go. Let me get my little, oh, I'm going to get a number 8 actually. So again, archival. Let me just waft it around a minute. I can't be bothered to get the heat gun on it, so let me just come around like so, and I'm going to get these lines down now. Now this is where, if you want to put more detail in, or be that little bit more umphy with little areas and stuff like that, go for it, because the more that you put in, the more you sort of get out. As you know, if you're going to start putting things in that are sort of looking a bit iffy, and you think to yourself, oh, what's happened there, then you know that if you add that little bit of detail in places, you know that people are going to look and go, oh, that looks really nice. So let me just pop a little bit of something across here. I'm going to turn that around, making sure I'm not putting my finger on anything that resembles a blob of paint, because that's normally what I do. Okay, so now let me just bring that down here. Now, depending on how good you are at sort of blending and smudging bits in, you can just get a bit of water. Let me just put that on there. And if you really wanted to just bring things down, you can just give it that little bit of, the antique sort of look to it. Now, that will give you that interpretation of the glow in there. Now, you need more paint in that to sort of give it your glow. So let me just, that's too much paint. Honestly, I'm so heavy-handed with this paint, but it's okay. So all I'm going to do now is just pop a little bit in, and this is where you can use your pan pastels, you can use your oxides, you can use whatever you wanted to use to bring out any little additional bits here and there with this. Yeah, now I'm going to probably do a splatter on this, because the picture that I saw, like I say, I was just scrolling through and I thought, oh, that's like really cool, that is. The picture I saw was really sort of in your face, bam, like proper woo with the colour. And I thought, oh wow, that would be an interesting one to sort of play around with and have a little dabble with. But all I want to do is just see what it's like with the oxides, because for me to do that in more detail, I'd probably end up doing it with probably oxides and pencils in that sort of way. Right, let me get some. I need a brush. There we go, got it. Yes, they are very, very. My dogs are so, oh, aye. You're all on about your dogs. I love it. Right, so I'm just going to get some of the olive now. I am just going to give an interpretation of a bit of greenery about, as you do, because if you were in a tree, there'd be something going on, even if it's just a bit of mold or something. Yeah. And then here, down here, now you see how you've gone already, you've gone down here and it's gone lighter. So if you're adding your green, once everything dries off, the colours change, and it's lovely because you can then add all your different depths and stuff like that. So I'm going to leave that as a wet, but around here now, I need to put a little bit of a highlight underneath this. So what you've got to do now is think about what you can see. So if you've got a lamp shining, that means that you are going to have an underlight on your tree. So little things like this just helps you along. So you're going to have like an underlight shadow there. All around here, you could add so many different sort of reflectors. So again, down here, if you wanted to, because I'm going to put some stamps down here, you can just put these in just in the background, and they'll make sort of a nice little contrast look. And this is where you look and you think to yourself, well, this ain't really what I wanted, sort of thing. And you look and you think, but once you start adding the final layers, it will actually start looking, and you think to yourself, ah, got it, it's there, sort of thing. which is that's where you just got to sort of have faith in the process, realistically. So this is like just sort of too, I just need to bring that around a little bit. It's sort of too flat for my liking. So I'm going to add some white into that, definitely. So let me just grab that. It is a bit of a weird looking lamp, even if I say so myself. I must have been out partying when I done that one. Right, so let's just get a bit of a highlight in places here. So again, you know, you can look at different aspects of this and think to yourself, well, where do I want to add just little bits, you know, just to sort of bring it, you know, and if you just think to yourself, if you were looking at something now, where would the reflectors be? Where would you actually see a reflection? Would you see any reflection? Would there be anything that you'd sort of look and go, ah, you know, I can see that now. I can add that detail because I can see it. So that's all. When you're out and about, start looking at little daft little things like that, because you'll be surprised what you can actually pick up when you're looking for detail and different things. Same as on the tree, I suppose, realistically. It's just like here and there where you'd find yourself looking at little bits of reflections. Especially if you're going to, let me just play around with this a minute. Let's have a bit of yellow and a bit of green. I just want that underneath there. Oh, don't like that. Why's that gone like that? Gone lumpy. So the bleed proof doesn't mix well with, so that's something I've just learned, doesn't mix well with these. So luckily I have got some white paint here as well, which is good because I think I need it. So let me just put a little bit of this down here, and then I just want some of that. So again, don't be shy to put your layers on as well, because your layers will make, you know, your leaves look more realistic. You know, you can add so many different sort of little bits here and there. You know, even if you think to yourself, well, I don't need that little bit of depth. Well, sometimes you don't realise that a little bit of dark highlight is a low light, which you need. So if you can look at pictures and think to yourself, oh, well, what can I see there? What dark bit can I see? And then mark it out, and you think to yourself, ah, yes, I can see that now, and I want to put that little extra in, and they're called your values. So when you're actually looking and you're doing like your painting or your drawing, those are the first things that you look to put in, is what's dark, what's light, and what's around you, sort of thing. Right then, so let's get some splatters and stuff onto this now. So I need that, don't need that. Nearly put the wrong colour down to splat. That would have been an interesting one. Right, let me find something that resembles a fan brush. That'll do. Perfecto. Right, so let me just, oh crikey, that's too much on there. Right, there we are. Okay. So even though I can't mix it on here, I can actually add and put it over here. Now, I want to put this around here because I want this to sort of be attracting, sort of like little fireflies or even little fairies. You can put whatever you want around this, but I still want to add something around here. But where you've got these larger blobs, well, I don't know what else you want to call them really, you can turn these into like little things with little wings and stuff like that, which I think are quite cool. So if you've got a very thin brush, which bear in mind none of mine are plain ball tonight, you can just sort of give yourself a bit of a bigger wiggle in some of these places. And then in a minute, when I've dried this off, I shall put some little wings on these, and I can just have them then just basically flying around. And if you wanted more detail in that sort of skyline and stuff like that, just put it in. You know, at the end of the day, it's whatever you want to put in, basically. I'm just going to put some of these lovely lobelias at the bottom, just to give it a different sort of shape. And I need a longer, that one will do. So I'm just going to put that onto there, and I'm only going to use that sort of top section there, just to bring together all these different little elements that you can see. So let me just dry that. I can see exactly what I'm going to do. Oh, I don't want to do that. Right, so you just try and see to make sure there's nothing shining on it, because then you know it's still wet. Okay, so I just want to have so much of that there. Let me grab that little bit of paper again, and I can just use that to go under and over. So again, it's surprising just how quickly your picture that you've sort of creating can change. We've just adding a few little bits here and there. And I just want to add that probably about there actually. Yep. So we've just brought that up and around, and you can add colour onto that. Oh, bless you. No worries. Thanks for popping by, Sylv, actually. It's lovely to see you along. Have a good one, sweetheart. Have a good one. So I'm going to put a little bit of green around that just to build that back up. Which is, let me find a brush. Let me just, yeah, I'm going to do that one, I think. There we go. And I'm just going to add a little bit of water, nothing too heavy, just into this here. And I'm just going to just give it that little bit of a mix, because then when I am going over this, I'm not going over it fully, but I'm just giving it a layer. And then when this is dried off, you can then put another layer on if you wanted to. But again, it's totally up to how you're looking at it and how you're seeing the vision of what you're creating. Because I don't know what you're seeing in your head, and you'll probably say, well, you don't know anyway, which is nice, because then if that's the case, you can't turn around and say, well, I've got it wrong or I don't like it, because you've got nothing in your head to go against, realistically. So we've got that lovely sort of layer on there, and I am actually just going to add a smidgen of yellow just at the bottom, and that's only because I've got a little bit that I can see. There we go. And you can add another layer of flowers on this, and I probably will get the other one actually, just to add that little bit of layer on that one. So let me take the lobelia off there, put that back into there. I'm doing ever so well so far. I've not lost any stamps. I'm quite pleased with myself here. Oh, got a message that's been held for review. Oh, somebody been naughty. Oh dear. Well, I like a bit of it's looking different, that's for sure. Let me just dry that off, and then I can put another layer on. I think once we've had the little wings to the midges, then it'll look a little bit more like something. Now what you've got to bear in mind is that's still wet, so again, just get yourself a tissue, same one that you decided to lick and wipe around somebody's mush. There we go. Oh, got the hiccups. Right, so all I'm going to do now is just add that as a bottom bit, and then add my little wings, and Bob's your uncle, and all the rest of it, diddly doodahs and all that, isn't it, really? Whoop, let's put that there. Let's put a little bit up here. That's it. So I think the best thing with this, with layering with the acrylics, you can get so much depth without really doing anything, and that's what I like about it. Oh, hello. I love the fact that you can create such layers with minimal effect, and especially if you're not comfortable or confident to do that as well, which is really nice for some of you guys, because I know sometimes you panic about putting a layer on, and if, like I say, you don't like any of this, you just paint over it and start again. It really is that simple. And I'm just going to get this little bit of tissue here, and I'm just going to just give it a bit of a little blend. So I am just going to take this now into the corners because it's still wet. Obviously, just be mindful of where you're smudging and moving things around. But to me, that just gives you that lovely little bit of finished, a little bit of depth in your picture now. So it totally has transformed what we sort of started with in that way. So I'm just going to dab it along like that, and then I'm going to, what I've got on here, I'm just going to see if I can just transfer a little bit, which I can do. Perfect. Just for that darker area. So I don't really want to go in and sort of have a big black blob, but I do want that little bit just to bring the corners together and just to give that little bit of night feel to the card, which to me, that's roughly what we've got there now. So again, another layer, you know, and you could add all your toadstools and your mushrooms, the wording, all of this would go really well with that particular card. Right, so I just want to put some little wings on this now. I'm going to try and find a really now this is a 01. Let me just see if it's, oh dear me, this is going to be an interesting one. I don't even know if this is going to work. I might have to just, like, you know, do some little, oh yeah, I'll tell you what, we've got it. Yay. So these little funky things, and I'm just going to do them 2 little wings either side and 2 little eyes. So I'm just creating, I don't even know whether you can see, but I've done this one here. I don't know whether you can see. I've just put some little wings on it and then 2 little eyes. So that's what we got so far. Bless you. Hi Sarah, sorry I didn't look over there. Emma, Jane, Louise, Sarah, hi. Alice, hi. Sue, hi. Kay, hi. Susan, hi. Tracy, hi. Hitesh, hello, my little munchkin. Hi, hi Kelly. Hi Maxine, bless you. Hi Mo. Right, so there we go. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put some like little wings on some of these little characters now that I've made up. In fact, I'm going to go up a grade. I'm going to see if I've got a number 2 floating around. I have, yes. Okay, let's see if this is going to work. So I've always got a, oh, it is as well. Oh, so let's have a look. Oh, that's much better. So my little funkies, you're probably going to be able to see now. So 2 little eyes, 2 little wings. Yeah, these are proper, like, little weird things, these are. It's okay. Suits me today. I'm just going to give them a little smiley face. They look like little ghosts. I love it. Oh, that's funny. That's really made me chuckle, that has. Sorry, people. But yeah, there you go. You get the gist of it. Oh, dear me. And if you really want to go around your branch and really want to pull the branch into different directions and add little bits on, this moves and you can move it around really, really well. So I've got some funky little things there. I don't know what on earth they were supposed to be, but if you don't like them, what I would say to you is you could just put a nice little yellow, let me just see if I can actually do that, some yellow blobs. Let me just, oh crikey, honestly, this acrylic paint has got a mind of its own when it wants to come out. That's all I'll say. Let me just get a small brush. I'm going to use this thing, crikey. Right, so let me just, so if you wanted to sort of, if I wanted to do them as like little round things, that ain't going to work. No, that won't work with that brush. That is not for that. So know what your brush is for, Lisa. We'll try this one. Why ever not? Oh, I like the look of this one. This looks like it's going to work. Yes, it is. Perfect. So I mean, I could just go around and just do some nice little yellow blobs everywhere. I'm going to leave my little, my wing things. Crazy little things that they are. But, I mean, yeah, so you could actually, pan pastel would be good with this, to be fair. But we're not doing pan pastel today. But this is something for me to think about. I might actually redo this properly, sit and actually do it with some proper time on my hands. Because I think the effect of it is really good. So, you know, feel free to have a play around with it, with this sort of thing. I'm just going to put these little Yeah. They just look a bit weird now. I'm going to colour in their wings. Yeah, that looks a bit better. Looks more whimsical, mystical, fairy-fied thing. There you go. Sorted. But yeah. And then you could really splat it, put some gold splats. Actually, some gold splats would be nice on that. But you can just see where it's still shimmering. And that's because your Versa is still wet. So I could go over that and I could still really go to town with it if I wanted to. But I don't. So all I'm going to do is just dab that off. I'm going to matte and layer it. Clean my brushes up. Clean the mess up, as you do. And probably go and sit with the other half. Don't need to worry. I love to see you. Do you really? Oh, bless you. Okay, cool. Okie dokie. So let me have a look what we can do with that then. Yeah. Oh, let me get a bit of gold paint then. Let me just get some. I've put this. Gold will be Midas. Touch it will be. I've put my little bag in the way, so I know it's there now. Okay then. So if we've got Ganzi Tambe, no, I don't want to do that one. Let's have a proper. Oh, there we go. Look at that. We'll have a look at the gold collection. So you've got some beautiful, beautiful starry colours now. Ooh, I'm going to go for this one here, which is number 903, and it's yellow gold. But no, that's fine, sweetie. You have a good one, Chris. I'm just going to splat some gold on this and I'm done. And I am going to put in some water. Now, don't forget, just like anything else, you do need to sort of charge it up, get it prepped, because otherwise you ain't going to be picking up much on that to put down. I won't be far behind you, Chris, don't worry. There we go. So, there we go, there we go, there we go. Now, I mean, just look at the shimmer in that. Gosh, dear, 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 dear. Right then, so, I'm just, oh yeah, okay, fabulous. So that's proper OTT, realistically. Now you could go around, paint with it, bring it up, pop it, do whatever you like. If you're done with that, make sure when you put on your box, it's all flat, it's dried, because if you move that, you'll end up with inks everywhere. And then you won't be able to open anything. Now, there's a difference there now when you look, which is really nice to see. So again, not only have I got paint everywhere, but you can really pull out different areas if you want to. But for me, that in itself, I'll pull out probably with a detail pen, or just pop it around. Well, it might turn up as a tag yet. But from these to that, I wanted to see if that worked. It did in a way, but not with acrylic paint. So what I will say to you is, I like the fact that I can test things out, but I know that that is going to be more of a watercolour and an oxide piece to get the effect that I want on that. But I like what we've sort of got, if you know what I mean. Hopefully that makes sense to the few that sort of do understand my jibber jabber. Right, so let me just see with this. So the best thing with acrylic paint is you can rub your elbow grease, spit on it and do your thing. Or you can get yourself a sharp knife and just scrape it off. But luckily, this is actually coming off quite well for me. Thank goodness for me. It was, well, the thing is, the thing that I like to see with this is, for one, what I can do with the paint. So this part of it here is what I love to do. This part of it here is more watercolour and more oxides and more pan pastels. That effect there is a pan pastel effect for me. This effect here is anything goes. This effect here is definitely acrylic, you know. So realistically, I could take that away and whack anything there, sort of thing. Or I can play around with it and I could actually have it as a, oh, it's still dry. I could actually turn it around and have it as a little book cover in that sense. But the main thing tonight was this at the end of it. And obviously we got this done really quickly. So that's why we ended up doing that, because I wanted to try that out. So that's what it is all about, trying different techniques and seeing. So what I've learned off this, I will probably do something over the weekend where you'll see what I've developed from that. because I like the format of that. So I will take that to a different level, if you get what I mean. But yes, those are the main things for you guys tonight. If you can see, that's got a lovely shimmer to it. So that's got the crackle paste over it. This one hasn't, but I still love the feel of the acrylic over that, which is absolutely fabulous. So I will cover it the same as that. So I'll show you that probably through the week. And then I've actually put acrylic on that, the, what's it? Yeah, definitely. I could do a pre-recording. I'm going to be doing some pre-recorded stuff in the memberships anyway. So it's just things I can add along. But that part, forget that bit. That part of it here, you guys can really play around with that process. So layering with your Versa, your acrylics, moving it around, adding your different layers. Okay, so there's the main part of it anyway. But that was interesting. If I do that, I could say that was really interesting to that. Let me do that. There we go. That's nice, isn't it? Yeah. So that's a nice little scene. That's a nice little card, that is. See? There we go. So let me just, I'll show you what I'm going to do with this. Let me just, let's grab that. So the best thing with me is when I learn. There we go. Right, there we are. See? Perfect. So I like that now. That bit can go over there. I like that bit. So I'm not shy to turn around and go, I didn't like the top part of that. However, I do like this, like I've said to you. Add a word to the top. Yes, definitely. Let's have a look what we got. Lobelia. So I want quite a large word. Yes, I could do actually. However, my Frenchy. So basically, Amanda made me laugh today. So my Frenchy album, I'm going to be doing all drawings in mine. So I'm actually going to be doing pencil work in mine. So that will be in a couple of weeks. We'll be doing some Frenchy stuff pencil wise. So just some different ideas to do with pencils instead of just all stamp and colour. So that it's going to be quite an interesting one that I'm going to bring together with that. And obviously we've got the journals on the Monday. So the journals will come along very, very nicely. That one ended up lovely. And we're going to be playing around, you know, with those. So the cover, my cover on my Frenchies, that was Wanda's beautiful moving colour. I mean, just look at that. The colours that you get on this is like unbelievable. Stunning. And that's the best thing. So the covers were one of the first things I've done with you guys to show you that don't have a black book. Have something with a bit of oomph to it. You know, I like the other one as well. So this one, that's my other one. So that's I'm in readiness, you see, because I know that this book will get filled up very quickly. So there you go. But yes, so that's why I've done these, because I'm going to do pencil stuff in this one. But these ones that I've made are going to be just like your little, you can do little Frenchy bits and bobs in there anyway. But yeah, I don't think that you get a 3x3 off that, to be fair. Let me just look. No, so you basically, you got 2.5. So I could do 2.5 by 2.5. But that, to me, that's a nice little tag, or like you say, we can put a bit of wording on it. And I'll find something out and I'll put something nice there and I'll post it. So I'll take a photo of them, and with that, and Bob's your uncle. Right, so there we go. Hello. Well, Jacqueline, that's Jackie, that's the best part of when you're looking at different things and you're looking at sort of how to put things together. That's what this is all about, sharing's caring. So we're all doing different things. So you guys on Facebook, I'm going to wave goodbye for, and thank you ever so much for joining me. Thanks Ellen, Sarah, Heather, Jackie, and the rest of you lot, Kim, Alice, Louise, Kay, Carol, and it goes on and on and on. So thank you so very, very much. So let me just press the finish button there. So that's you guys. So carnage of my YouTube. Let me just move this lot out the way a second, then I can get to you guys. There's that done and dusted. So as always, I'll just take you down. I'm just being attacked by my what's it there. So I use 46 and 50 in tonight, and 20 million brushes, which none of them worked to what I wanted to. I really like the way that these two have ended, and I like the way that looks now that I've chopped the top off. The right thought for this bit, it's there, but not on that. I mean, I could put something over that and it's, you know, one of them sort of thing. But yeah, them work. The acrylic paint is fabulous. Here's my carnage, here's my mess. There's the reality of me. So have a go at this. This would be really cool if you guys can have a go with your acrylics. Play around with the layers. Layers is the key for your acrylics, okay? And even when you do stamp on it, see that's more or less dry now. Yeah. And with that gold and the white, it's popped beautifully. But it just didn't pop as a whole piece, if you get what I mean. Might look all right like that, but yeah, you get what I mean. But that's what it's all about, learning. And I'm not shy to turn around and cut it off and go, you know, away with the fairies, like go away sort of thing. So for me now, I've got a card, which is my carnage looks like. There you go. We all have carnage. You know what I mean? We all have carnage. We all have the reality of crafting. You know? I mean, I'm playing with crackers. Yeah, I mean, come on. Crikey. Time of year and all that. It's one of them, isn't it? But, yeah, we're all the same. We've all got carnage. So I'm going to love and leave you. Thank you so very much for joining me. I'm not sure whether I'm going to be Sunday or not, because I've got to get these stamps designed and off to the people and all the rest of it. So bear with me, but I'll definitely be on Monday in, yeah, you're very welcome. I'll definitely be Monday in Tracy Evans. So bear with me on the Sunday. I'm not sure yet. So if I'm there, I'm there. If I'm not, I'm not. All right. So love to you all. Have a play. I can't wait to see what you do with these. All right. Love you all. See you soon.